Hey, this is Anthony with Level 1 Gaming, and today I'm reviewing Starfire: Eternal Cycle. This is a stylish roguelite hack and slash. And the first thing that caught me immediately with Starfire: Eternal Cycle was the vibrant and beautiful art style. It is extremely colorful and reminds me of a classic anime mixed with a 1990 Saturday morning cartoon. Developed by Ethereal Fish Studio, Starfire is a 2D hack and slash like retro classics of old, but from a partially isometric perspective, along with modern graphics and a robust roguelike progression system. The controls and basic core gameplay are simple but have layers of complexity, multiple builds, upgrades, and more that give Starfire infinite possibilities for types of playstyles. Multiple ways to build your hero. Starfire has been an oddity for me, as I don't normally put this much time or enjoy roguelike games. But I really did here. The variety of builds you can synergize is exceptionally well executed. During my runs, I was able to unlock a ton of different weapons, and none felt useless or randomly generated with bad statistics or anything like that. I definitely had items I liked more than others, but experimenting with the ones I hadn't yet liked felt great. And unlike most games, similar to this one, it wasn't an immediate sigh. Going back to my old build. Using these new weapons and upgrades felt great. All the weapons have different ways you can customize them, which works really well as you synergize and match with various elemental sets available to you. There are various bonuses you can get from these elemental core sets, with a wide variety that will appease any style of play you prefer overall, or for certain enemies or encounters. Taking the time to create a proper build always felt powerful. The game has a robust progression system that gets even more in depth as you get further into the game and reach much more difficult runs. Your runs will always net you enough weapons, item, and resources to create new and better builds and continue your progression. As always, when you find that elemental core set that you were after, you'll feel extremely satisfied and happy with completing a build you were after. Fight again and again. Combat is always frantic and feels tight. There is a nice ramp up in difficulty as you progress, with the start and middle stages being approachable, while the final stages act as a sort of skill check, leaving you either dead in moments or victorious with the right level and build. There is excellent build variety, like I've already said, so you never have to feel like you need to stick with one, test, and experiment. That's what I had the most fun with. Stages also have various modifiers that change each time, so it keeps things varied when you do eventually replay content. The game features a wide variety of enemies to fight, each having its own sub-boss types and modified types, and similar to the enemy hordes in the Diablo series, where some enemies synergize with others, requiring you to prioritize eliminating them first. Like the newer entries in the Diablo series, there are some modern mechanics here, like ultimate attacks, dodging, and fairly decent support for a gamepad. The game is unique, as it feels like an old school arcade beat 'em up, with roguelike progression and Diablo-like enemy hordes. So in conclusion, the game is very much focused on gameplay, with some other aspects of the game suffering right now. For example, sound effects appear to be missing in several areas, including in some menus, during stage rewards, and even certain attacks from some bosses were lacking sound effects. I also feel there could be better menu navigation and quality of life features, like making it easier to compare upgrades and other things like that. I would also like to see more tutorials, as I would open a menu that was fairly complex with absolutely nothing telling me, what it was. And that was on top of numerous localization issues. While playing in English, I encountered numerous errors and items that just lack translation entirely. The developers have been listening and are aware of these issues. They actually just released their last update this past Friday, so they're working hard. It's not like these issues won't be fixed. but it's obvious they're prioritizing the gameplay over everything else, and as it should be. As they continue to make these changes, hopefully we'll see more feedback taken and more of these things fixed and acted on. Overall, this is a unique hybrid. So if the idea of a game blending Diablo, 2D beat 'em ups, and roguelike mechanics sounds like fun, then definitely give Starfire Eternal Cycle a try. Just be aware of the overall unpolished feel of it right now, but its gameplay is solid and the main focus for the dev team right now, with polish coming later. So, let's review. Starfire Eternal Cycle, I give a 7.8 out of 10. Pros: fun hybrid gameplay of Diablo, 2D beat 'em ups, and roguelikes. Beautiful and flashy graphics and art style. Almost infinite build options, and lots of content. Cons: lack of tutorials, localization issues, some gameplay imbalance, missing sound effects, and overall an unpolished presentation at this time. Gameplay, I give an 8.8 out of 10. Like I said, this is the best part of the whole game and really carries it. Story, 7.2 out of 10. I never really talked about it. The story is just window dressing. There's not too much to it. I wasn't super engaged. Sound, 6.8 out of 10. Again, that was kind of the biggest issue with the lack of polish, was a lot of missing sound effects. So that's why we're a little low there. In graphics, I give an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, they're beautiful, flashy. It's like a mix of an anime and a Saturday morning cartoon from the 90s. So I really, really enjoyed it. I know a 7.8 out of 10 doesn't sound like you should grab it right away, but again, it's the presentation and polish that's really the issue right now. The gameplay is fantastic. I love the builds. I was super satisfied through my runs. So if this sounds good to you, I would grab it. Like I said, they just released a patch on Friday. They're fixing these issues. They're polishing the game, and they're also making those gameplay balance adjustments too. So they're listening, they're updating, and I think right now it's in a good place to pick it up. But like I said, those polish and localization issues, lack of tutorials just kind of brings it down. And I have to think of more just for myself, so it can be a little bit difficult to get into it if a lack of tutorial is a problem for you in a game. Then yeah, like that obviously is going to be a problem, especially when it has a lot of different builds and mechanics. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like this style of game, like I said, pick it up. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Level 1 Gaming.